Are you looking for the best EDC flashlights? In this video we will look at some of the 6 best EDC flashlights on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Nitecore EDC29 EDC Tactical Flashlight. I become nerdy about all gear categories I get into, and EDC flashlights are no exception. I went from carrying a Streamlight microstream down the super slippery slope of learning about emitters, UIs, and most recently LEP and building my own flashlight. But I'm also pretty practical in my gear choices, and I like things that are simple to use, but have top-end performance. The EDC29 is nearly perfect in regard to being simple for daily use with premium technology. The beam is fantastic and perfect for EDC applications. It has a bright center spot but plenty of spill for seeing your surroundings. I use the 400, 1200, and 6500 lumen modes most often. The 400 lumen setting is great for indoors and completely lights up a large room. It's also great for extended use because the light doesn't heat up at 400 lumens. The 1200 lumen mode is great for outdoor use, but only in short spurts. If you run the light for more than 15 minutes at 1200 lumens, it will start to get hot to the touch. The 6500 lumen mode is absolutely amazing. It turned my pitch dark backyard into daylight, as if someone turned on stadium lights. The flat shape makes the EDC29 carry very nicely in the pocket, but I wish it had a deep carry clip. You'll see about a ½ inch of flashlight sticking out of our pocket when carrying it. The EDC29 has a new locking mechanism that prevents the light from being activated accidentally. The best part is that it's an incredibly simple lock. It's an independent switch on the side of the flashlight that you simply flick on or off. If you want a flashlight that is easy to use and has incredible lighting capabilities, the EDC29 is the best EDC flashlight for you. Number 2. Streamlight 88810 Wedge 300 Lumen Slim Everyday Carry Flashlight. The gear nerd in me loves things like custom user interfaces, LCD screens, and various lumen settings. But I also like streamlined gear that's not overly complicated to use. While evaluating EDC lights, my pragmatic side won out and I chose the intuitive and simple Streamlight Wedge as the winner. When you pull the wedge from your front pocket, your hand naturally falls in the right position to flick the switch on. If the 300 lumens isn't bright enough for your task, you can push the switch forward for 1000 lumens. The max brightness setting will jump back to 300 lumens if you let off the switch. The operation is that simple. In the pocket, the flat and thin wedge goes unnoticed by the carrier. The deep carry clip keeps the light secure and unobtrusive. In my weeks carrying the wedge, I never had it accidentally turn on in my pocket or felt like it was a burden to carry. I occasionally carried it in my back pocket, which was comfortable as well. The beam is wide, evenly bright, and has a neutral tone. To me, it's the ideal beam for EDC use. It excels at lighting up a dark parking garage, finding things in a car, and taking a dog for a walk. When using the light at 300 lumens continuously for 30 minutes, it was barely warm to the touch, and my laser thermometer read its temperature at 84.5 degrees. The main cons of the wedge are that it doesn't have any hands-free capability like a magnet or two-way clip, and it lacks features of more technically advanced lights. Also check out the shorter Wedge XT for EDC. Number 3. Gear SK03 EDC Flashlights. I tested this flashlight nearly a year after testing the others in this article, and it quickly became one of my favorite lights. It has a very easy user interface, quick double tap to change between low and high modes, and a long hold to turn on the lantern. The beam is well balanced for EDC with enough throw to reach out and light up objects at 40 yards, but it's plenty wide to evenly light up an area. It's not the throwiest flashlight I've tested like the Nitecore EDC25 or Ace Beam LEP flashlights, but for daily use it works great. The reason I bought this flashlight was the looks. It has that cool skeletonized machined look I crave at a price that I can afford. The $300 plus titanium machined flashlights are very cool, but I can't justify the price for the sake of coolness. The SK03 gives me great looks and performance for $60. The cons of this flashlight is that it's too easy to turn on. The tail cap button doesn't have a click and only requires light pressure to activate. So if I dropped it loose in a pocket, it would inevitably turn on. A recessed button or a click tail cap would make this an unbeatable light. I'm still rocking it for EDC, and I like it a lot for camping or truck use due to the lantern, side light, feature. It's also a heck of a good light for flashlight nerds who don't want to shell out Dawson machine cash. Number 4. Olight Baton 3 1200 Lumens Ultra Compact EDC Flashlight. The Baton 3 has the most throw for its lumens of any light I tested. This palm-sized flashlight reached out to 60 yards, and it takes up half the pocket size of similarly bright options. It uses a proprietary magnetic charger, which can be a con if you end up losing the cable. But it means you don't have a charging port that gets filled with lint or exposed to water. The magnet and two-way clip allow for hands-free use. Whether you're clipping it to your hat on a hike or sticking it to the hood of your truck while you work. The on button has a tactical and audible click that's very difficult to turn on accidentally. The user interface is pretty straightforward. Just press the button for light and hold it to change the brightness setting. A double click will turn on the turbo mode. Small and portable. Excellent for hands-free use. Ideal as a work light. Number 5. Nitecore EDC25 EDC Flashlight. I tested the Nitecore EDC27, and while I liked it, it had flaws that held it back from being a top pick. Mainly the momentary button jumped from turbo to strobe far too easily. The light also got very hot at its brightest settings. The new EDC25 solves many of those problems. It's far more user-friendly and it's about an ounce lighter. The momentary button puts you at the light's max output and it will light up a large area with a wide, 3000 lumen beam. A click and a hold on the power button will turn on the EDC25's other settings. One quirk is that you have to press and hold the power button to turn the flashlight off. There are indicator lights on the flashlight that show the light output and battery level. The flat shape of the EDC25 is excellent for carry, but about half an inch of flashlight sticks out of your pocket since it doesn't use a deep carry clip. The EDC25 gets hot during continuous use of its high settings. At 1000 lumens it reached 125 degrees after 12 minutes, and was uncomfortably hot to hold. Even with those cons, the EDC25 is the best EDC flashlight I've tested if you want to carry a super bright flashlight. Super bright. Ergonomic. Locking power button. Number 6. Olight Arkfeld Pro Rechargeable EDC Flat Flashlight. The Olight Arkfeld Pro is the most fun flashlight I tested, but the features that made it fun also made it one of the least practical. The green laser is powerful and bright. It stretches out well past 100 yards at night and is bright enough to be used indoors during the day. The UV light is great for recharging objects that glow in the dark and seeing things only visible when hit with the UV spectrum. It would have been cool if the Arkfeld Pro had a lower UV spectrum. It's at 365 nanometers, which is too high to be used for disinfecting objects. A portable UV disinfector would be really handy. The flashlight portion is excellent with a nice wide, even beam. The user interface is simple and easy to use. You toggle the switch between the different modes and then click the button to turn on. A long hold cycles through brightness levels. In the pocket, the flat Arkfeld Pro is easy to carry and it has a nice deep carry clip. It's right up there with the Wedge in terms of ease of carry and operation.